Recruiter here, the Headless Headhunter, getting you ahead of your job search in this recession by reviewing your resume. The resume we have up first is for a machine learning engineer. This person completely doxed themselves, so I cannot scroll past this page. Please, I do these live. I cannot edit them. Please stop doxing yourself. It is written instructions on my website. They also did not tell me any information, but I'm assuming they have a terrible ratio. So, what we're looking for in a machine learning engineer, and also a ratio, is how many applications it takes to get an interview. That is how you can tell if your resume is good or bad, is the amount of applications it takes to get a single interview. So, for a machine learning engineer specifically, what we are going to be looking for is your degree. Most of these are high-level degrees, bachelor's or above. Machine learning, obviously, it's a machine learning engineer. Models, LLM, NLP, generative AI, Python, R, C++, Cloud, SQL. And you don't need all of that. Like, it's usually you need Python and Cloud and SQL, or R and Cloud and SQL, or C++ and Cloud and SQL. Any of these, TensorFlow, PyTorch, SkibbityLearn, Pandas, NumPy, LangChain, RAG, and there's probably a few more that I've not put on, like Hugging Face. And customer-facing stakeholders, clients, be the subject matter expert. This is big. If you are a machine learning engineer, you are probably going to be interacting with people that are not, and you will have to explain to them what you do. And a bonus points for CAD, FEA, Git, CI/CD, finite element analysis, and APIs. Those are rarer, so if you do not have them, it is okay. So can I find what I need in 20 seconds? Because that is the only amount of time that recruiters have to find it. So let's go. All right, I cannot use anything here. Led the proof of concept for, generative AI, LangChain is good, LangGraph, those count as the same. AWS, nothing. PySpark, maybe. Yeah, so I found 3 things. So yeah, this definitely would not pass. This would be a yeet. This is why you are having a problem and why your resume is not doing well. We are in a recession. If we were not in a recession, maybe they would move you forward. But right now, the jobs are scarce and the competition is high. That's what a recession is. So the first thing you need to do to actually fix this is just literally delete all of this. I cannot use anything here. People assume that it's like a keyword matching, and recruiters go to these and they're like, oh, as long as they see a keyword, they will move you forward. And that's not the case. This goes for everybody, not just tech as well, is we don't keyword match. I actually really do not like the word keyword match. We say keywords to y'all, but they're not keywords. They're qualifications. So, and they're not a qualification if you just randomly put it anywhere. A qualification is something that, besides education or a certificate, because those could be qualifications, is in bullet points under a job, or an internship or a project, which is why nothing here counts, and you show me how you used it and the reason and result that you used it. So, led the design and proof of concept for a secure generative AI chatbot using LangChain, LangGraph, and Llama or whatever is good. That's actually a good sentence. This is what I would like to see. Say, and then you just want a comma because it should be one sentence. Is deployed within AWS environments is perfect. I don't really care about 30% reduction in stakeholder turnaround time. That's not as relevant, mainly because I don't really care how you, I need to know more about how you interacted with them, less so about stakeholder turnaround time. So this is why this part is actually a good bullet point, is it tells me the what, which is a qualification, which is secure generative AI, tells you how you did it by using LangChain and LangGraph, and it tells you the result or the reason, which again, I don't really care about the 30%, but I do care more so about this is a tough one because the reason is to reduce stakeholder time. You wrote this part incorrectly. All you needed to say was to reduce stakeholders' turnaround time. I have no concept for how 30% is better. So that would be an actual okay sentence. It's filled to the brim with stuff that I don't want, like Fias or Llama 2 or VPC or IMA, but the rest of it is okay. And then I think there was AWS. Yeah, it was right here. There was something else down here that I liked. But yeah, that's it. That's the problem, is you just don't have enough. And I'm going to tell you right now, this is probably going to enrage people, but let it be mad, is you don't show me how you used machine learning. You imply that this is machine learning, but you do not say machine learning. And it's highly possible that either the recruiter or the hiring manager themselves does not know that some of this stuff implies machine learning. I want to see instead, led the design and proof of concept for our machine learning generative AI chatbot using LangChain, whatever, deployed within an AWS environment to reduce our stakeholders' turnaround time. That's how I would write that. Spearheaded development of the XGBoost recommendation system using dynamic separation, incentive awareness, integrating AB. I'm not looking for that. Like, you can look at the qualifications for machine learning engineers. They're not saying that. They're not asking you, hey, did you build an annual production optimizer using Garobo to solve multi-objective linear programming problems across 14 global factories, optimizing 700 million in annual production planning? No, they're saying, like, did the CEO ask you to turn on his monitor, and did you tamp down your rage so you could just actually help them? They're asking, did you just use TensorFlow? Did you use Python or C++ to code this? What other stuff did you use besides just machine learning? Which also, I don't even see machine learning. That's it. You have massively overcomplicated your resume. And as you could see, I could only go down to here because of this giant unnecessary summary and skill section. Again, nothing in the summary or skill section counts. You do not want to use them. It's just not good. The exception for a summary is if you are relocating. You do want to put the summary if you are relocating, or alternatively if you are switching industries. So this resume does suck, but it sucks because you basically put in everything I did not need. I need this stuff. And yeah, maybe I missed one or two qualifications because this is an aggregate list, but you should at least have 70 to 75% of those in your bullet points. Again, doesn't matter if it's here. So that's why your resume sucks. We are in a recession. This is not going to help you. Your competition is fierce, and the people that are getting the actual interviews are the ones that are writing this stuff in a boring, basic, easy to understand stuff. That is how you do it. So that is all I can do for this resume. If you ever need more help, you can join my live stream every Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 11 a.m. PST. That is where I do these live. And if you like, comment, and subscribe, it helps me out. And let's go to the next resume. This is a resume of an AI engineer. So what we're looking for in an AI engineer is a little bit different than an ML engineer. Obviously, the focus on the ML engineer would be more machine learning, while an AI engineer typically is broken down into like different sections of AI. So what we're going to be looking for is one of like RAG or ML or LangChain or scikit-learn. I do actually know how to pronounce that. I just refuse it. Pandas, or maybe like agentic. So basically, what is your subsection of AI? We are actually looking for a lot of Python, TensorFlow, and PyTorch. AI, LLM, and NLP, Cloud, NumPy, R, MATLAB, SDLC, CI/CD, DevOps, and that you can explain technical stuff to non-technical stakeholders. Or anybody. Truthfully, they just need to make sure that you can explain it. I go over that a lot in my videos of non-technical people. I swear to you, that is beyond any actual like coding thing you learn. One of the most important things you can put on your resume and learn how to do is explain extremely technical concepts to people that do not know your industry. As a recruiter, I actually have to do that a lot. People think that hiring is easy. You post a job and then you get an applicant. Truth is, it's a lot more complicated than that. And I have to explain using metaphors like the League of Legends ones, like metaphors, similes. I have to break down the complex topics of what recruiting actually is and show you how to recruit successfully, because there are strategies you can use, but if you say them all in the first time, their eyes will roll back in their head and they'll pass out. So Let's see if I can't find what I need in 20 seconds. I am also very sleep deprived and exhausted. I am not angry. This is just my exhausted face. So I may miss stuff that I normally would have caught. And unfortunately, that is what can happen in real life. So let's begin. All right, an agentic RAG system, good. Python, LlamaDex, okay, that's 3. PyTorch, good. Azure, good. Hugging Face and LangChain, CI/CD. Partner with explain technical stuff. That should probably be higher, but engine with Python, LinkedIn, yeah, this is good. Is there anything I'm actually missing? Man, there might be one. And this one is upsetting to even me. I actually need to look this up real quick. You may want to write an AI agentic RAG system. That might be the only thing you... I know that is very clear. Like, this is something I'm doing right now. But you might want to put built-in agentic AI, and then you can put in parentheses RAG system or something to automatically handle it. But otherwise, yeah, this is basically hits all the notes that I am looking for. I don't think there's anything else that I really need. This one, honestly, should probably be a little higher. So, I don't know if you need cross-functional. This isn't bad. I just think that maybe the sentence would be stronger with explain technical trade-offs to non-technical stakeholders via live demos and data visualizations, securing executive buy-in. I don't know if we really need the cross-functional teams. It's not bad. I'm just wondering if instead of like partnered with, we can just say that you explained. But other than that, yeah, I don't really have any notes. It seems fine. Pretty good, solid. That's it. Yeah, like I'm kind of floundering because it's pretty darn good. So, all right, that's good. Let's go to the next resume. This is a resume of a network engineer. This person, it takes them over 150 applications to get an interview. So basically, their resume is terrible. That is a terrible ratio. What we are looking for in a network engineer is quite a lot. But basically, like routing, switching, firewalls, VLANs, VPNs, WLANs, network protocols. So TCP, IP, DNS, DHCP, I don't know why I said Palo Alto networks, but specifically firewalls like PAN-OS, Global Wildfire. Actually, that was old. I don't know if they still need that, but they also need a bunch of certifications. I'm not going to list them all here. There's so many of them. We have WAN LANs, we have Cisco, we have routing and switching protocols. So I'm not going to be able to get all of them, and that's okay, but you really only need about 50% of them, really, because they're basically asking, like, what about the routing protocols, what about the firewall, the network, and as long as you have, like I said, about 50% of them specifically for a network engineer, you should be fine. So, I doubt I will find that. Let's see, can I find this in 20 seconds? Also, this person doxed themselves, so I can't scroll farther than this. Stop doxing yourselves. It makes it harder for me to help you. I cannot edit it to stop showing your stuff. All I can do is not go through more of your resume. It is on my website. The instructions are clear. Do not dox. All right. So let's go. Nothing here can be used. Again, that's a giant wall of text that I cannot use. Plant projects, detailed engineering plans, oversee coordination phases, deployed network, and yeah, there's nothing here. This is why it's practically all blank. Yeah, there's like nothing I need. I also don't see your education or your certificates. I imagine it's further down in your resume, but no recruiter's going to go farther than this. This is why you put your education up top, is if they don't scroll all the way down, they will not miss it. Your resume needs to look like this. This is why the education and certifications are here, is so a recruiter or hiring manager can check it off their box of what they're looking for and then go on to the actual good stuff about the qualifications. So there's not really much for me to say on this because literally there's nothing here. This resume is basically blank. You have submitted a blank piece of paper with bad formatting. And I'm not trying to be mean. I'm trying to say like you don't have skills. I don't believe that. I believe you are probably very qualified, but you don't show your qualifications. And when you say you meet all the qualifications and you get rejected and you applied early, it's this. People sometimes assume that, oh, I got rejected in 5 minutes, it's AI. No, I would reject this in less than 30 seconds because it does not have anything I need to move you forward. This is a blank piece of paper. That's just unfortunately the case. There's nothing here. I don't see a single thing besides, I think, ISDN, which I will probably count as a qualification because there's a bunch of them. So yeah, there's nothing here. Unless you're not actually looking for it, but I think you are. So yeah, the page is blank. I don't know what to tell you. This is a blank page. Nothing here can be used to move you forward. Let's go to the next resume. This is a resume of a marketing manager. So this person states they were self-employed for a while, but they did not put the self-employed on their resume. Good. Do not do that. That is a giant red flag to hiring managers. Unless you are specifically going for startups. Startups like self-employed. That's like the exception to that rule because they like people that wear multiple hats, that kind of stuff. But for everybody else, you don't want to put you don't want to put a self-employed. Changing industries from photography to marketing. All right, so let's see if I can't find it in 20 seconds. What we're looking for is Bear. What are you doing, bud? Stop! You're like walking into the glass. Please stop. We need your degree. We need content marketing, social media, engagement marketing. Basically, what type of marketing are you in? Analytical tools, so Google Analytics, Sprout, social platforms. If I see the word analytics, it's probably fine. Then B2B, B2C, multitasking. Again, what type of marketing are you doing this for? Then the types of platforms, so like print media, TikTok, YouTube, email campaigns, that kind of stuff. Cross-functional and stakeholders, and that you've done stuff on time and under budget, and you've used MS Office. So can I find that in 20 seconds? Let's find out. All right, Masters is good. Manage all marketing channels, so social media, B2B, SEO, okay, good. Manage social media accounts, okay, good. Sprout Social, I think, counts as that. Create short-term video editing, achieving Instagram. This is where you start to lose me. Photoshop and Canva are probably one that I could have added. Marketing campaigns with Klaviyo. All right, I don't have enough to move you forward, but it's not bad. So first off, your formatting should be different. This is how you fix it. This is how I want it to look. You can delete this. Keep your masters. Keep the masters, but your bachelors are not really as relevant to this. And the fact that you stated graduated in 2009, you don't want to date yourself. You can just say status graduated, so status graduated. And the problem I have is the first two bullet points are pretty good. I don't have a lot to complain about. You told me what kind you did. You did social media, you did B2B emails, you did SEO, you did blogging, paid ads, vendors, photo shoots, that kind of stuff. That's exactly what I'd be looking for. And this one, again, what kind of media accounts? Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Pinterest. Perfect. Using software like Later, like Sprout Social and Hootsuite, which is exactly what they're looking for. So you did everything right here. And then you immediately lose me with this stuff. So, like, created video short-term for social media using editing software. Again, I might actually need the editing software, but, like, a 305% increase in reach and engagement growth is okay, but you kind of lose me. Like, I don't know how important that is in context. Created engaging visual design. Again, you already kind of mentioned this stuff. Created B2B. You already mentioned B2B. You already mentioned this. You need to... You have too many bullet points, especially because you've only been here for, like... What is that? See, May is 6. So, like, 4 months, and you have all of this. It's way too much for 4 months. Give or take 4 months. Is it 4 months? Close enough. Like 5-ish. You need to have about 4 bullet points for this because on average you want 3 to 8. But since you've not been there for very long, you don't want to put all of this. Like, this is a lot for a very short amount of time. Then we go down to here, and this is actually, again, pretty good. This you've been at much longer, so you can't, and you don't need to put photographer. Like, they're not necessarily looking for photography. Just put marketing manager. And some of these are okay. Again, they're very wordy. That is my problem, is you kind of tried to cram everything in. And I also don't find anything about stakeholders. Did I miss that? Let's see if I missed that. No, there's nothing about stakeholders. Is there anything about cross-functional? No. Or multiple departments? No. Is there anything about your budget? Kind of. You don't tell me you were on track. Is there anything about deadlines? Yes. Well, no, actually. Now that I'm reading this, this doesn't count. So I don't care that you planned projects and set deadlines using the software. I want to know that you met them. This resume has I think the overarching problem with your resume is you are telling me how you got to the answer, but not the answer. I am not looking to find out that you planned marketing projects and set deadlines using Asana. That's not really what I'm looking for. I want to see that you met all deadlines while working cross-functionally across multiple departments. That's different. I'm not necessarily looking for produced SEO blog and WordPress to support brand awareness and lead generation. I want to know that, increased lead generation by using SEO and WordPress, Canva, and Photoshop to create marketing documents. The rule you need to follow is I need to know what you did, which is the qualification, how you did it, which can sometimes also be the qualification, and the reason and results you did it. And that's kind of my issue, is a lot of these you're not really telling me how you did it, you're just sort of, or the result. You're either telling me the result, but not how you did it, or you're telling me how you did it, but not the result. Again, I don't want you to think that this resume is garbage. It's not. This is, it's a 1 in 75. It's not good, but it could be a lot worse. But I definitely need more. I need you to explain this better. I need you to not put 20 bullet points for a job you've only been at for 4 to 5 months. This is where the bulk of your stuff would be, and you still kind of write it weirdly. Again, I need to know what you did, how you did it, and the reason and result you did it. If I do not have those, it does not count. That's why, skill sections don't count. So, again, not the worst resume, but it could definitely use some improvement. So let's go to the next resume. This is a resume of a software engineer intern in Ireland. Just to be clear, I am a US-based recruiter. My advice may not translate to Ireland, so I'm going to have to judge this as if this was a US US intern, which, again, might be slightly different. But what we're looking for as an intern is your degree, basic knowledge of the tech stack, again, very basic knowledge, the ability to work well with others, take direction and criticism. That's kind of it. There's not a lot we're looking for. It's really just that stuff. So this person hasn't started their search, so they don't have a ratio. So let me see if I can find what I need in that time. Okay. Well, you probably immediately failed because I don't even see your... Okay, so your education should be at the top. No, nothing here. Yeah, okay. So, there's, not anything here. So, one big problem is, your education is at the bottom, right? I need your education up at the top. It's okay to still be in college, that's fine, but your education needs to be up at the top. They may not scroll down, they may think you're a self-taught dev that is trying to get for an internship. So, education up at the top, at least in the US. Maybe it's different in Ireland. Then this, I don't care about this, it doesn't matter. Remember, nothing in the skills section counts. Then projects, your formatting is off, but a bigger issue is it just doesn't have anything I need. I'm not looking for lightweight Notepad app similar using low-level API. What I need you to say is created a notepad app using C, C++, API, RESTful APIs, and SQL, right? Like, that's kind of the only thing I'm looking for. I don't really care about the UI programming or the Git is actually needed. I like the Git, but everything else I don't care about. And then the same, I don't care, a game application using libgdx, I don't know what that is, and I don't know why I would care. Remember, when you're searching for a job, you need to be very specific about the qualifications you put on. If you put on too many things that we don't need, we're not going to find what we do need. And I don't see where you use SQL. Again, it doesn't count up there. It has to be in the resume. Where'd you use Python? Again, doesn't count. Where'd you use Java? Again, don't just put Java here. You need to put it here. I need to see how you used it and the reason and result of using it. This doesn't count. This doesn't count. This doesn't count. And I need to know how you worked well with other people. How did you take direction and criticism? That is critical. Let's see. This was not bad. You actually, it's all the way at the bottom, but like you were a convenience store clerk for 4 years. That actually is good. You wrote the bullet points weird. I just want to see, like, worked in shifts alone where I would deliver where I would deliver customer service, right? Like, that's all I need. And then that should be ahead of this church, because there's nothing in the church based on your resume that I would be able to use. The convenience store is customer service, which shows you can take direction and criticism and at least work well with others. So you just don't have basically anything I need, because you tried to impress me with your resume, and I'll be honest, no one's going to impress anybody with any resume. Resumes are garbage about trying to impress people. If you try to impress people using your resume, you have already failed before you even started. So that's all I can do for this one. I know it was pretty quick. I am not feeling great. That is why this was a quick episode. But yeah, thank you all for watching. If you ever need more help, join my live stream every Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 11 a.m. PST at twitch.tv/headlessheadhunter. And I will see you in the next video to help you get ahead of your job search.